The human form is the only form in the universe that have perfected the art of stunting our growth and the growth of other life forms under her. Every other life form grows as long, as big, and as wise as it can be. We are the only one disoriented in our environment. We are the only life form with a mind and a sense of choice, yet we debase ourselves by living stunted lives and reducing our capacity simply by choosing so. A tree grows as long as fast as it can. A fish grows as long and as fast as it can. A lion grows as wise, produces as much, mates as much as it can. The only life form that limits ourselves is the human form. When a tree grows, everything on that tree grows: leaves, trunks, branches, and roots. But when the human grows, we deliberately try to limit some things in our lives. Most times we don't do it out of good intentions. We do it because we feel threatened by that growth, and by extension, the growth of other life forms. We have a lack mentality because we believe the universe cannot sustain us. And that's not true. The universe has more than enough to sustain us. In fact, as it is, the over 8 billion of us on this planet are underutilizing the resources on it. We limit our growth and our existence by telling others we can't grow and that we are limited. We tell ourselves we can't be rich because of our limited formal education. Yet our Father has created tremendous wealth without even knowing what the classroom looks like. We term ourselves retarded because we don't know our alphabets. Yet we forget that there was life before the alphabet and there was communication. Before long, we start limiting other life forms because we first started by limiting ourselves. If only we can tap into our Creator's plan for us. God wants us to be happy. He wants you to succeed. He wants you to have a larger vision of yourself because you are not threatening Him. God didn't give you that sense of choice to limit you. He gave you that sense of choice for you to be like Him, for you to think like Him, for you to act like Him, for you to manifest Him on earth. That was why He gave you that sense of choice. But do you know what? We have used that sense of choice to bring ourselves down, to debase ourselves, to do inhuman things, to be wicked toward others. Imagine a fish that can grow up to 14 feet. We put that fish in an aquarium, we underfeed it, and that fish grows to becoming only just 4 feet. And how did we achieve that? We achieved that because we first of all debased ourselves. We first of all limited ourselves, and because we limited ourselves successfully, we are able to limit other life forms successfully. This shouldn't be so. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to change your mindset. It's time for you to start doing what you are supposed to do with your life. It's time for you to recreate your life. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter where you are from. It doesn't matter whatever you are facing right now. It doesn't matter how poor you are right now. You can do something great and better with your life. It reminds me of the story of Jim Carrey. This is a guy that came from a poor home. His parents were so poor that they were living in a trailer on a lawn that belonged to a relative. They were that poor. He had to drop out of school. He went to Hollywood to see if he could make it as an actor in the acting career, as a comedian. It was rough and tough. One day he drove his beat up Toyota up the mountain of Hollywood, and he wrote himself a check of $10 million. And behind the check he wrote on it for services rendered. And he set a target of 10 years for himself. Do you know what? He went back down the hill and he continued trudging as an actor. He achieved that goal before 10 years time. It got to a point that Jim Carrey was earning up to $20, $30, $40 million. Why? Because he was able to stretch himself wide to achieve what he wants with his life. And that's what you have to do to yourself. You need to stretch yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. Stop boxing yourself in. Stop digging yourself into a hole. You can become successful. You can become great. You can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve with your life. You can stretch yourself to become whatever it is God has planned and proposed for you to achieve. All it takes is for you to stop limiting your mind and tell yourself, I can do it.